Hi, welcome. Dr. Ruth Anderson here with Enlightened World Network. I'm bringing you today Focus on Lightworkers with Holly Erin Copeland. So excited to have you here, Holly. Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much, Ruth. I'm really excited to be here.
So, Holly is one of our hosts here at EWN. She has a show called Heart Mind Happy Hour. She's going to explain to us what that's about. It comes to us on Fridays at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. It is not an every week thing. Sometimes it's once a month, maybe twice a month. We're just glad to have Holly's work here whenever she's with us. Holly, can you share with us a little bit about Heart Mind Happy Hour?
Yeah, Ruth, I started that podcast or show as a way to bring people who are working in the space of consciousness and neurotechnology and meditation, that intersected space. Um, and as a way to bring those people to, I'm going to call it my audience, or the people that are in the Facebook community that Stephen Altair and I started together, called Heart Mind Alchemy Lab. And Heart Mind Alchemy Lab is a place where people who are interested in that intersection and who are, a lot of them are using technology to help them, assist them with meditation, to get calm, but also to track their brain waves. So this is kind of neurotechnology assisted, supported practices. And those people are sharing on that community, and it's an amazing community of people sharing about their practices, sharing graphs, and asking questions. And then I added this show as a way to bring people as experts in that field to that audience.
Excellent. Thank you. Now, Holly, you come to us with an educational background. How has your background in education sort of oozed over into this newer passion of heart mind alchemy?
Yeah, thanks for asking about that. So I have an interesting path, and then I made a big life course correction or change about 3 years ago. I was for 20 years a scientist with the Nature Conservancy, and I was also a scientist with the University of Wyoming. And I was, thought for a while that that would be my path and career. I would work as a scientist studying animal migrations, studying sage grouse and wetlands and different ecosystems, and supporting conservation efforts. And I, several years ago, was really feeling a calling to do something else. And I was always also very burnt out, and my heart was in pain for the planet, and I couldn't quite figure my way out of that. And what that ended up being was a turning from all of those things into an inward path of trying to understand and rewire my own brain for health and happiness, but also kind of a deep spiritual journey is what it ended up being. I didn't quite know I was going there at the time, to be honest. But as I embarked on this deep meditation path, it actually took me into the essence of who we are and why we're here and how to be happy.
So you have connected with Stephen Altair and Kevin Schoninger and their work with meditation, and in particular, subtle energy meditation. Before we get into discussing that, Stephen and Kevin have been on Enlightened World Network for a couple of years in different capacities, and so we know their work. Can you share about the work that they do and how it's impacted your life?
Yeah, I would love to. So when I made this turn to rewire my brain, as I say, and went on this meditation journey, I went alone for several months, and I was using the Muse headset, which is an EEG meditation assisted headset. And I met Stephen on the Muse Facebook community because I started posting graphs and he started answering them. And he ended up, he and Kevin were starting this subtle energy meditation course. This was back in 2019. And they were looking for people to be volunteers for their first ever course. And Stephen invited me to be a part of it. And I joined, and in short, the course changed my life. It ended up just improving, helping me understand meditation, helping me go deep into meditation very quickly. And I was just so, I received so many benefits from doing that course. That's kind of launched me on the path that I'll talk about soon. But I met them literally at the very beginning, the very first course that they were teaching on it.
So you mentioned the benefits of meditation. Here at Enlightened World Network, we offer a guided meditation every day of the year, and we're going to be starting our third year of that in January. For you, what are some of the benefits of meditation?
Can we take all day? You know, I came to it wanting to get out of the busy mind. I mean, just what is this? What's going on with this voice in my head, right? So, as so many people, I think, do. And meditation, the ability to develop one pointed concentration, focus on the breath, is an essential, I think, very essential skill and very helpful at doing that. And it did that very well. And when I quieted my voice, it's like, that's sort of step one. That's an amazing benefit. Like for most people, if you stopped there, they'd be like, oh, right? I mean, that's like an essential problem as a human being. If this voice is so loud that we are kind of caught in the, in the narrative, that if we can quiet that, that's an amazing thing. And that's great. But to me, that's just step one, because when you quiet your voice, then actually you can hear the real voice. You can actually start to tune into who and what you really are. And you can start to tap into the divine light. You can start to tap into your own knowing. You start to feel, this deep longing and love, that starts to well up as the experience of being a human being, which then when you really tap into that and you feel that, then you have that to both give yourself as a gift to yourself, but then as a gift to the world and to everyone you meet. Which is, I think, what all the sages, all the deep spiritual traditions are all pointing to that, right? It's not about quieting our mind. It's about that deeper truth. So it's the most important path there is, in my view.
I know for me, when I meditate, I end up with a completely different perspective than I started out with. Can you talk about what actually happens with our brain waves when we're meditating, when we're in that enlightened state? What is going on?
From a little bit more of a scientific perspective, is that what you're asking? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, the first thing we do is we step out of the beta brainwave state. And beta brainwaves are those higher frequency brainwaves that help us think, help us navigate. They are very useful at making sure that we're alert, and we can, if there was a danger, there's something we need to respond or react to, that we do. And so the first step in meditation to me is stepping into that alpha brainwave state, which are those lower frequency brainwaves that are calm and they're clear. They're kind of to me, that's the cruise control mode of being a human being. Like, I'm just clear and I'm calm. And I'm, not in a fragmented fragmented high alert state. And so to me, the minute we close our eyes, actually alpha goes up. So that's a sign that the minute we close our eyes, our body's actually primed to be in greater calm. in greater clarity naturally. But if we have a busy mind, if we've got that going, and especially if we've been using that so much that it doesn't know how to shut off, then we kind of stay with a lot of beta brain waves. But if we learn how to step out of that through various meditative techniques, then we start to access the theta brainwave state, which is that deeper subconscious. So like Anna Wise talks about alpha as actually the bridge to these deeper meditative states. So theta, and that's where, creativity and intuition and access, I think, to other information starts to come through. My experience and my view is that we're, and I'm not the first person to say this, but just, we're like a radio receiver, and we can tune into Divine FM if we can quiet the mind enough to hear Divine FM, which is riding at, theta or even below, even delta perhaps, is really slow frequencies. And there's also, I think, when our brain is synchronized and coherent, which is there's really kind of two aspects. Can we flip into beta or flip into alpha and theta to access these subtler brain waves? But also, is our brain coherent or connected? Because when it's coherent and synchronized and connected, the radio also works better. So there's really two parts of the process. And when we're synchronized and coherent across the brain, we also can hear very high frequency information, the realm of gamma and above. So I think meditation is the gateway to access all of that.
I have certainly found that to be true in my life. So you mentioned when you close your eyes. Now, I have seen some folks who meditate with their eyes open. Is it harder to get to those different levels if your eyes are open, or do you think they just aren't focusing? The eyes are open, but they're not focusing on anything.
Yeah, I think it's the latter. I mean, both meditative traditions do it either way, right? There's Mahamudra, for example, that keeps your eyes open, and others as well. I think that is the realm of, I think you can get there either way. I think the traditions have shown that, and it's a technique. It's that, can you be in that unfocused? Les Fermi, Dr. Les Fermi, who was wrote one of the books that I read first when I got into this, called The Open Focus Brain. And his work is so wonderful. And he's basically teaching people how to get into these alpha states through open focus. And what he's teaching is when we, expand our awareness out and even visualize the space, like, can you visualize the space between your eyes? Or even with your eyes open, can you shift your attention from focusing on an object, in the room, and anybody listening can do that now, to that open, expanded awareness? And that when we do that, he discovered this and wrote about this, that actually also stimulates alpha, because the aspect of focusing actually raises our brain waves. It's like we go into more alert, an alert state, like ski. You could think of it like, you're looking for danger, and you're kind of in that sort of alert state, and that's a more active brainwave state rather than a relaxed, soft gaze, which is open and more in the domain of alpha.
Got it. So you talked about Divine FM, and I love that. I get to experience that on a daily basis. So it brings joy to my heart. I so appreciate that. When we talk about body, mind, and spirit, and all of that coming in together, are there things that we do or can do to our bodies that sabotage our ability to connect in with that Divine FM?
Sure. I think there's lots of things that we could do to sabotage it. And I think the easiest way to sum that up is simply to recognize that every time we're focused in the object-oriented world, right? Like right now, there's a consciousness that's aware of objects in the room, that's aware of the sound of my voice, that's seeing things. So that's taking us out into the world. And that's fine, we're in the world. But actually, if we turn our attention back around to the consciousness that's aware, then we're tuning back into the inherent domain of divine FM. So we live in a society where people mostly are object oriented. They're mostly focused on the information coming to consciousness, not consciousness itself. And so I think we sabotage it when we don't give ourselves time to come back into consciousness itself.
Yes, I can absolutely see that. I'm wondering about the things that we eat, the things that we drink, the things that we put into our minds, maybe as we're falling asleep, or watching news until 2 a.m, that kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I also come from an energetic point of view, and I'm, work in the energy healing arts as well. And, feel, I don't want to say believe, because it's not a belief, it's my experience, that everything is energy. And so when we put, foods that are, unhealthy into our body, we're making choices usually that are their lower vibration. Or if we're listening to toxic news, we're coming down to lower vibration. And that makes it harder, I think, to align to those higher vibration energies and hear the messages that are coming from higher vibration. And so the more that we feed our own body and mind, with high vibration information, with high vibration sounds, beautiful music, healthy, delicious food, we are giving ourselves the opportunity to live in that higher state and hear those messages. It's like you don't have to filter through the muck as much.
You don't have to travel so far to get there every time.
Exactly. Yes. Or clear away a dirty windshield. Sometimes it feels like that to me. Yeah.
Right. No, I totally understand that. So we've talked about meditation. How is subtle energy meditation different?
So it's what Kevin and Stephen put together was a beautiful process, meditative process, 7 steps, if you will, that link together the cumulative knowledge that the two of them have had. Both of them are long-time meditators. I think Stephen, combined, it's probably 100 years of meditation experience, maybe even more, right? And they took all of that together into one 7-step process to help to bring people to that transcendent awareness into divine FM, right? Because that's really what we're wanting to be delivered into. Is I want to hear those messages and bathe in that light. And so that's what this meditation process does: is give you ready access to that in simple steps from meditation masters who've sort of seen all the traditions. And to me, it feels a bit like a best of.
I think you're right. Absolutely. So now we're in for a treat, because Holly is going to give us a sample of one of the subtle energy meditations is like. So Holly, whenever you are ready.
Thanks, Ruth. So I'm going to do just a 10-minute. So this will just be a small taste into open spacious awareness, which is one of the later steps in subtle energy meditation. But I find that opening into spacious awareness is one of the most profound aspects. So I'd like to take you all there for 10 minutes or so. So I just invite everybody to close your eyes and just begin by checking in with the body. So checking in, noticing your feet on the floor, Noticing your weight of your body in the chair. Just allowing your body to relax. Allowing your eyes, your cheeks, and your jaw to relax. Just notice and feel your organs, how hard they're working. This part of your body pumping blood and breathing, all happening on its own without your help. So just smile subtly into all these organs, beginning in your feet, in your knees, and your hips. Feeling that every cell is smiling into every other cell. You notice your posture now as we begin, and just feel that there's a gentle string pulling your body upright. Posture is a key aspect to ensuring that the energy systems in our body are open and energy can move freely. Feeling this spinal alignment, nothing forced, just gentle. And then take some nice deep breaths into your belly. And make that exhale just a little longer than the inhale. So maybe breathing in 5 or 6 on the inhale and breathing out 7 or 8 on the exhale. Get to the top of that inhale, just hold or pause slightly. Really feel this breath in your lower belly, the lower dantian. Let's actually count these breaths, the diamond recitation. So let's count on the exhale. So breathing in. Exhale, 1. Notice the whole cycle of your breathing from when you begin to breathe. So you're actually bringing your attention to the whole breath. And if you get lost, just bring your attention back to the breath. Begin again at 1. Begin to breathe up through the spine, from the root chakra to the top of your head in a torus breathing pattern. So you can even squeeze your perineum, the area, the base of your root chakra, and then bring that breath up your spine. Pause at the top of the head. And allow it to pour out through the top of your head, around in a torus like a fountain, back down to the root chakra. And you can do this in your own time, just breathing up through the spine. Pause at the top of your head. You might feel some tingling of energy there. And allowing it to flow up and out and around and down. It's very activating energy, activating the coherence and synchrony of your brain. Inviting that divine FM to come in. Remembering that we were built for this. This tuning in is our natural state. So all we need to do to access it is simply to tune in. Allow this energy to flow through our energy channels, through the sushumna or the spinal energy. Take it from here down to your heart center. So bring your awareness into your heart, like you're feeling your heart from within your heart. So notice that to come into your heart, you don't need to think about your heart. This isn't a thought. This is the center of being in your heart. I like to say that it feels like a campfire in my heart. A little ember glowing. There's this light here that cannot be extinguished. It's good. Represents the divine goodness and love essence of your being. And just as the breath comes in, feeling it igniting or feeding those embers in your heart. And as the breath goes out, imagine that it's warming or illuminating everyone and everything. And then allow that center of awareness to drop from your heart down into your belly, about 3 inches below your belly button. And allow it to settle there as this deep center of peace, the center of the sacred feminine. And feel that peace, knowing, infuse your entire body. Spreading peace and calm throughout your entire body. Just allow yourself for these last few minutes to just relax and let go and let be. Anything comes in, thoughts or sounds, notice you don't need to pick them up. This is where the real essence of Divine FM, of tuning into Divine FM happens. Where we are the meditation. Meditation isn't something we're doing. It's actually what we are. Now, ever so gently bringing our awareness and attention back into the body, feeling the whole body from within. Bringing love and appreciation for taking time out to do this meditation with us. Sending a message of love and acceptance to every single cell in your body. You're instantly upgraded. This intention instantly is made so. You are essentially whole and perfect and complete. From this foundation of wholeness, that every interaction we have, every person we meet, every relationship, we bring this sense of wholeness and love into that relationship. So that this meditation is a gift. Everyone. Ready. Gently open your eyes. Staying centered in your heart. out at the world through the eyes of your heart. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful space. And I loved how you said it was wholeness and love. And I completely agree. If we would just come from that place of wholeness and love into our relationships, into our experiences here in the 3D, what a completely different world this would be. So thank you, Holly, so very much. We're looking forward to more episodes of the Heart Mind Happy Hour and looking so forward to seeing what you, Stephen, and Kevin are coming up with next. So thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Focus on Lightworkers. Holly, anything you would like to share with us about where people can find you, any courses you've got coming up?
Thank you, Ruth. And I just thank everyone for being here and watching. So I just honor and thank you all for taking this time. You can find me and all the work I do in courses at heartmindalchemy.com. That's my website, and that I run with Stephen Altair as well. He's a collaborator and partner in that project. And we do have, Stephen and I are teaching a subtle energy meditation course starting February 13th, 2022. It's a 10-week course. It'll run every Sunday from 3 p.m. Mountain Time. And we would absolutely love to have you there. So I hope I've emphasized this course was really life-changing for me, and it feels like a great honor to share it with others. And so invite all of you. I really feel, there's so many courses. It's wonderful. And what I'll give as my personal plug for this course is not all courses actually give you an opportunity to interact intimately with meditation teachers at a really personal level. And that's what I think this course is super unique about, because there'll be, 10 to 12 of us, 10 to 12 participants, and it'll go for 10 weeks. So, and it's about 2 hours. So it's 20 hours of individual time with Stephen and I and the community that we build. And the people that come through it really find that sort of personal attention through this guided course is really what's the amazing benefit of it, versus some recorded course or something like that. So I think the course is great, but I really feel, and in my own experience, it's that one-on-one or, small group that is really the transformative part. So we hope that some people here would like to join us. We'd love to have you.
And I would like to add to that, for those of you who say, I can't hear spirit, this course might absolutely just open the doors for you to be able to do that. When Stephen and Holly talk about Divine FM, it's that ability to hear or see or feel. And so I know that's going to be part of this course. So if you are curious at all, please check it out. Holly, how can they contact you?
They can anybody's free to email me at holly@heartmindalchemy.com. So you can do that. You can also just go to my website and there's contact buttons there as well. And I invite anybody. I do coaching, personal one-on-one coaching, and also I do sound healing work with biofield tuning, and what I call quantum healing sessions, so individual healing sessions, and I do combination coaching and healing work. And I offer, a 30-minute chats with me for free if you just want to come and chat and see if the program's for you. So all of that is open to anybody here that feels like they might benefit or like some support.
Excellent. Holly, thank you so much for being here today. And our friends here at Enlightened World Network, thank you for tuning in. I know that Holly and her Heart Mind Happy Hour and her subtle energy meditation teaching is just such a beautiful gift to Enlightened World Network. So take good care and God bless. Thank you, Holly.
Thank you, Ruth.